Hi y'all, Julia here, coming to you from the tent, my she shed. Used to have a canopy, but got ripped up by the wind, so now it's really kind of a gazebo. But it's still cool. I just can't leave much stuff in here for when it rains. Got a lot of rain in here. Had about 40 liters of water, but no big deal. The floor, whatever they made this floor out of, they should make the whole tent out of, because no leaks in that. But yeah, today is April 8th, 2022, and the skies were blue, but they sprayed again, but that doesn't really bother me, other than I like the blue sunny skies, because I feel like I'm resilient to whatever they can throw at me, and all the stuff I've thrown at myself too. So I'm not too worried about what's in the chemtrails. Maybe it is for a good cause. Maybe it would be too hot if they weren't doing it, and I'm sure it's for weather modification. We've been getting a lot of rain, and this was in a drought area, so I'm sure that's part of it. But like James Brockhurst talked about, and I'll put a link to his channel because he changed the name of it. I can't remember it right now. But yeah, he's like, he has his immunity from smoking cigarettes. But it's all about, if you believe something's going to be bad for you, then it is going to be bad for you. And that's really the bottom line. I do this kind of stuff to myself all the time, trying to only eat healthy, and then when I don't eat something healthy, I'm always thinking about how bad it is. And if I think about how bad it is, then it is going to be bad. So, yeah, I need to quit doing that. I guess if anybody else is doing that, I have to stop that too, because it really is what you believe. If you believe it, it is true. If you believe it, it's true. And that's the thing. That's why you have to get your subconscious believing and having the proper judgments about you, and not having these negative judgments about you. Because until you can get your subconscious cleared and know who you really are, you can't know what you want. And if you don't know what you want, then you're not really going to manifest. You're just going to enter other people's manifestations and live a reactive existence instead of a creative, imaginative existence, life. Because, yeah, we really are the co-creators here, and whatever we decide, we can make that happen. No doubt about it. I can see it's kind of windy. That's the reason I'm in here, because it's too windy to talk when I'm walking. I tried to make a video and it was just too much static noise in there. Hopefully this one will be all right. But yeah, so we have to do that emotional healing work, get rid of those negative judgments, release these emotions, put in proper judgments, and go. Move through it. Have a good, happy life. And if you're not happy most of the time, then you probably do need to do emotional healing work. And it doesn't really matter how spiritual you are, or how much you can meditate, or whatever, or how tapped into source you are, if you can channel. If you're not healed emotionally, and you're not happy most of the time, genuinely happy, then yeah, there's work to be done. And it's easy work. And I know sometimes there's guilt and shame involved, and that's okay. You deal with it. And if you're still doing things that bring guilt and shame to the surface in you, then examine those things and see if that's warranted. And if it is warranted, then maybe we shouldn't do those things. So yeah, it's just another opportunity to do a lot of self-examination when you go through the different emotions that you're feeling. So I can't recommend it enough. Language Lessons of the Heart. Again, you can find that on this channel in the playlist. And I will also put some of James's videos there. James Brockhurst. And yeah, and save playlist. So yeah, and then another thing I was going to talk about is not worrying about what other people think. Can't be doing that. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. As long as you're true to yourself, authentic, and you know you're a good person, you're trying to do good and be good, then it doesn't matter what other people are going to say and think about you. And there's always going to be people that have something negative to say. Haters are going to hate, as the saying goes. So forget about it. And that's something I was able to do early on, was get rid of worrying about what people thought about me, because I was a school teacher in a high school in the inner city. Pretty hardcore high school, so yeah, I had to get over what kids thought about me real quick, what my students thought about me, and then that just carried over. And yeah, and I see people all the time, they're always worried about what other people think. And I've had people like, oh, so and so thinks this or says this about you, and I'm like, well, good. I'm glad they have something to entertain themselves with, because if they have any kind of problems with me and they're not legit, then it's their problem, not my problem. So yeah, that's a real liberating thing to do, is to not care what other people think and say. And again, if they're saying stuff about you that's negative and it's true, and it's something that's maybe making you feel guilty or shameful about, then maybe you need to examine that and work on not doing whatever behavior that might be. Because yeah, we do have to control our behavior too, not just our thoughts. And that reminds me of how I used to be a major shoplifter, and started when I was a kid because I was really poor, so I just shoplifted stuff so I could have stuff. And then as an adult, not that long ago, I guess up to like 5 or 6 years ago, I would still go to the grocery store and steal certain things, products that I needed at the grocery store. And I was like, screw it, it's just getting back at the man. It's cool to steal from the man. I'm not stealing from my friends, I'm just stealing from the man. And big chain grocery stores or Walmart or whatever. When I used to go to Walmart, so it had to be, it wasn't that, I didn't go there that recent. But anyway, so, and then I heard and learned that for one thing, it's just a negative action to steal. So it puts just negative motion into the ether, so that's not a good thing. And it's also, when you steal, you're coming from a place of lack and not a place of abundance. And so between those two things, I decided to stop stealing. And if I really want something, I just buy it, and I don't worry about if I really have the money or not. And that's just how I live too. I don't buy anything really extravagant, but the only place I shop is at the grocery store, but I will buy whatever I want at the grocery store pretty much. Even if it's an expensive item that I used to would steal. So yeah, there's my little confession for the day. But yeah, and I really try not to lie too. Occasionally I do tell a little white lie. I'm not gonna lie now. But I really work to be honest, and sometimes that allows other people to pull the wool over my eyes, so to speak, because I expect the same from them too. But that's okay. Live and learn, and yeah. So we have to, walk the walk, and not just think the thought or talk the talk. And so when we are doing our emotional healing work, if we do come across any kind of guilt or shame, we should really examine it and see if it's a valid emotion and what we can do to remedy any behavior that's bringing that emotion about. So yeah, because the more people that become good, caring, people with good intentions, only to help other people and hope the best for other people, that's what it's going to take to get us to that critical mass point, that 100th monkey effect, where it's just the natural way to be instead of the way that things are now, where everybody just tries to get one over on the other person so they can do a little better than they're doing. Business as usual. So I'm glad to be out of that. I don't have business as usual around here anymore. But all right, so I just wanted to get on here and say hi, and I really do appreciate anybody who takes the time to listen to this, and I hope you get something out of it. If you have anything you'd like for me to talk about, or any questions, or if you'd like to do a Zoom call, if you have something to share, feel free to get in touch with me. And yeah, thanks for listening, and have a great morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are, and we'll talk to you next time. Ciao, ciao.